Hey guys, Fran here from Officially Fran, and I am back with a video for those of you that are looking for a way to naturally stain your wood projects in your garden or around your yard. Let's get right into it. The first thing you want to do is pick a spot that is free of, anything that can catch on fire. So you see I have this nice little dirt circle here where I had a tent set up, and I'm putting out some pavers just so that I can raise my workpiece a little bit off the ground. So I'm going to grab my handy tractor and get this garden box all set up and moved over into place. These boxes were made from recycled heavy-duty pallets, which were 2x6s with 4x4s on their corners. When you're done watching this video, click the link below to see a video where I use these same pallets and the same burn technique to build a garden sink. The next thing you want to do is get you a brush or something and just make sure that you knock off any loose dust or dirt, sand and stuff like that. The one thing about the sand and mud, it just doesn't burn. It gets in the way and you'll end up having to get it off later. So you don't have to be too technical, but you just kind of want to go through and get anything that could be in the way, all those extra particles out of your way. Now's a good time for you to hit that like and subscribe button. Help me out. After you do that, you have a choice. You can wet your boxes down or you can just start to burn. For me, I found that when I wet the boxes down, they just burned better. And it also gave me a chance to get any loose dirt that was still left around. And then also wet the ground up a little bit so to make sure nothing catches fire. You don't have to worry at all about the water. Once that fire hits it, it will dry it up and you'll begin burning in no time. So those boxes actually dried up most of the way before I could get started. And it was an 80-degree day out there, so I was hot. And for safety, I do have my water hose, which I got to go turn back on. So let's get to the fun part, is lighting your propane or your torch up. That is a regular barbecue propane tank, and then that is a flame or a torch that I bought out of the local hardware store. It was about $39 or $45. It's with the long handle on it and it has a trigger. Now you can do this with the little small canister with the little piece on there, but you're going to be right up close, and for something this big you use so many of those little canisters, so it's easier to grab this one and spend the money on the piece. I needed it anyway to burn other things in the yard and maybe even burn up snow. So I went on and sprung for that because I knew that it was going to come in handy one way or the other. And as you can see, all you have to do is wave back and forth and let the fire do the work. You want to burn until you can see the wood kind of, it's not just turning colors, it's also bubbling. And I just simply couldn't catch that in the video. I'm just not that good with my videoing, so this is the best that I can do. But you can easily see that the color is changing, and this is where you get the choice. I wanted mine's dark, so I kind of stayed in an area until I got it to as close to what I thought I wanted, because remember, this isn't the last step. You also have to watch out for the wind and make sure nothing's bouncing back. But don't be afraid if you see flames or something coming up, because that's just a little dirt or grass or something that was still in there. And then my husband is also right there watching, and the water hose is to the side. So in case something gets away from me and I don't see it, he's right there because he got my back. And if you want to see a video on how to tell how much propane is in your tank, and no, I'm not talking about pouring water down the side of it, but a more accurate way, that video will be linked below. Now let's get back to this. So you just take your time and just burn and have fun. Let me tell you, this really was fun. It was a lot more fun than it probably should be, but I really like seeing the wood change colors. Because the main thing for me was I did not want to be painting these boxes every couple of years. And then I also thought, why would I paint a box that I'm going to grow food in? Or even stain it, polyurethane it. None of that made sense to me. And so I've been looking for a way when I came across this Shou Sugi Ban, or however you say it, technique. And I'll be burning everything up on this homestead. If that'll preserve the wood, give it a little more life. It also gave me some color. And it's got a little water repellent properties in it. It got hot, so my husband and I changed out, and he took it for a while. And here's a close-up on the side that's burned and the side that hasn't been burned, just so you can see that there is a difference. And this is what it looks like, completely burned up and ready to go into its next step. As you can see the wood grain on the side of it. I really like the way that turned out. And it's almost like the camera did not give me the best pictures of this, but it's really nice. The next thing to do is to take yourself a wire brush, and now you're going to get all of that extra ash off of there. And you have to make sure that you go with the grain of the wood. You don't want to go against it, across it, because the scratches will show. And you just take your time and go through and get all of those ashes off. I put a mask on for this because that was, fine dust particles of that. But it was so satisfying to see when you brush off to see what the ash looks like. This is also the time, once you brush this off, you can really get a real sense of the color that you have. So if you want to go darker, after you brush that off and after you blow away all that extra ash dust, if you want it darker, that's the time to go back in there with your torch, burn it again, brush it again, blow it off again, and then you'll get to your desired color. Now you can always go darker, but you can't go lighter. And for me, this was exactly what I was looking for. Then I went back with the water hose and gave it a little spritz down just to make sure nothing else was in there, burning up under there that I didn't see, and also get the rest of the dust off of it. You then need to go back with a tacky cloth or something to get anything else that's left. Now that's the box that's a before, and that's what the box looks like, almost done. That still isn't done. Now we have to get to the last step of this, and that is you want to go back with some linseed oil. I use linseed. I heard people say other oils. Linseed was easy to find, so that was what I used. And once you go back over it with the linseed oil, after it dries, if you wet it down, then you get this look. And it is a little shiny right now because the oil is still penetrating in, but you need something to seal it off with once you're done burning. And I couldn't be any happier with the look of this. It's exactly what I was looking for. A way to put some color on my garden boxes without going out there every 2 or 3 years trying to paint in between those things. If those need a touch up, I can get my little torch, or I can even go out there with the big torch and just hit it and go back over the spots. But I'm not buying paint. I'm also not putting paint or stain up against my food. So that makes me happy. And here it is after some of the oil is dried up off of it. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if this is something you might want to try. Thanks for watching Fran at Officially Fran. Have a good one.